for the record.
Thank
so
you,
we know
Mr.
who you are.
Chair. Margaret Anderson, Kelliher, Chair of the Broadband Task Force, and I think I'll be with you later on to give some more testimony on this issue of scalability and the 100 megabit scalability. I guess I would, after working on this issue for 5 years, really prefer that, since what you have said at the beginning of this hearing, and I know that there are issues with wireless being scalable to 100 megabits, strongly prefer that you not drop it down to 10 and 1 today. That would be really a quite big move backwards. So I don't know how you handle this amendment right now, but that would be quite a big move backwards in terms of where this program has been. I don't know what the right number is, but I do know that 10 and 1 is probably quite a big leap in the wrong direction.
Representative Baker, do you want to cover the 10.3 versus the 10.1? Just so everyone understands that.
Well, and again, thank you, Mr. Chair. The idea of this is to recognize, at least wireless as being an option. I think that the broadband office has done some granting with that in the past, so they've recognized that too. However, the 10.3, as far as I understand it, maybe again, Mr. Eloff can correct that, and actually, Chair Anderson here too, I respect her so much. But to see that being a option out there right now and have the capacity to get up to 25.3, that's our goal. But to recognize that as being actually a doable speed, that's an important component to this. And so we feel like it should be part of this. We certainly don't want to go backwards. We want to recognize the 25.3 goals set by the Broadband Task Force.
And Representative Baker, that's Speaker Anderson Kelliher.
Speaker,
Okay.
I should have known. Yes, I know.
So just to be clear, though, your amendment is increasing the 10.1 to 10.3.
For the definitions of unserved and underserved. Yes.
So that's, it's not, so the 10.1 is deleted for the 10.3. Speaker Kelliher, your comment, just so everyone understands this, is that we don't want to be coming in lowballing bandwidth rates. Representative Baker, what you're saying is, by investing in this technology now, if you do the infrastructure side of things, this gives you the capability to go higher, to raise it future, increase those rates. But by putting the infrastructure in place right now, you have the underpinnings to allow that going forward as technologies adopt. So Representative Speaker Kelliher, do I call you Speaker Kelliher? I'm sorry.
Mr. Chair, I
You
think.
called her other things. So am I.
So those are the kind of the two positions here. One is that no, we should be aiming for the stars. Representative Baker is saying, well, from a wireless perspective, you can come in, you can make a dramatic improvement sooner, quicker, cheaper, and then have scalability to go higher. Kind of, if I stated that right, give me the kind of your side of it more.
So, Mr. Chair, without getting into too much of the issue of unserved versus goals here. So Representative Baker is doing a very good thing on the unserved, which is saying by moving to 10.3, he's saying we're measuring who is unserved in the state with a 10.3 as the measurement. That's a very good thing in moving his amendment. So anyone below that, we're going to say they don't have adequate, and they're going to be first in line to get the grants. That's good. By removing the 100 though, that was a piece that Representative Simonson and others worked on very hard a few years ago to say, when giving the grants, these important limited public dollars in the state of Minnesota, and Representative Krisha, a few years ago, these limited public dollars, when these investments are made, public-private dollars, they should be scalable up to speeds of 100 megabits. And so that's what I'm asking you to consider not removing here. Now, I know that the technology issue is that wireless can't necessarily get up to that speed symmetrically. I'm just asking you to consider today not removing that out of the amendment. And so I think that they're not incompatible. We're just saying, let's measure the unserved as 10.3 and keep the goal in place. And I do think there is an issue that Representative Johnson has identified as well about middle mile and last mile infrastructure. That gets to a whole different issue we'll talk about later on. But I think the biggest thing I'd argue to you today, Mr. Chair, is that removing that 100 is a really big change in the program.
All right, so, other comments or members of the public?